Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Thursday Lunch and Learn with those of us here at the LiDAR Pros. We're thrilled to be doing these with you each week. And today we're going to be with Ben Goddard up in our Salt Lake City area location. And Ben's talking about platforms for different kinds of LiDAR and photogrammetry systems. So Ben, I think with that, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it right over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Douglas, and welcome everybody. Today, as Douglas mentioned, we are going to be going over a few of the systems that we have to offer that are NDAA compliant. Not to be confused with the blue list, NDAA compliant simply means that they are made without the Chinese components inside them that broadcast or put out a signal to the cloud or to an internet source. So we're just going to go over, I believe we have 4 systems today that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll jump right into it. Again, as Douglas mentioned, my name is Ben Goddard. I come from a Department of Transportation background as well as a law enforcement and emergency responder background. Happy to be here with you today. I am the Salt Lake Data Acquisition and Sales Consultant for the LiDAR Pros. I'm also one of the UAS instructors working with the LiDAR Pros and the Sundance Media Group. LiDAR and photogrammetry subject matter expert, and then I've got over 20 years of experience in the aviation, safety, and the DOT realm of the world. And then I do have my contact info on there if anybody needs to get a hold of me. We'll jump right in, and our first contestant for the day is Microdrones. Microdrones has been around for many, many years, a company out of Germany, so NDAA compliant. Their new system that they're just came out with last year is the Microdrones Easy One. The Easy One was developed as an all-in-one LiDAR system for people looking for a new solution to LiDAR that doesn't take necessarily a big, heavy lift copter. Some of the heavy lifts, they take up a lot of space. They have giant cases. Takes multiple different cases with the payloads, with the batteries, with the drone itself. The Microdrone Easy One was developed and designed to be that compact, all-in-one, one case, grab it and go type of a system with a UHR plus high-definition LiDAR scanner. Some of the big safety features or big features that it does have, again, it's the compact size. It does have the ability to be easily transported and shipped. Does boast a 45-minute flight time. So once it's up in the air, you're going to have time to be able to capture your whole scene and do larger areas. The drone's designed to do, 50 to 70 acres in a flight and potentially more depending on what overlap you decide on and altitude that you're going to fly at. Excuse me. The Easy One does have dual GNS antennas. What this allows it to do, the antenna in the front and the back actually talk to each other and help it to be able to align with the compass with what direction it's actually flying. So the internal compass, which is subject to magnetic error, is being corrected by those dual GNS antennas. So it knows where it is relative in space, even when it's close to electronic devices. So it's great for going inspecting power lines, being close to power sources, or anything that could throw that compass off. It is remote ID enabled, so it does meet all the new compliance issues when it comes to remote ID from the FAA. Fully integrated high-resolution LiDAR. Again, it does use what they call the UHR Plus system, which is a deep penetrating high-definition LiDAR system from GeoQ. Wonderful, wonderful little system. And with the purchase of any Microdrone Easy One or any of the GeoQ LiDAR systems, LP360 data processing software is included with that. The one thing that this drone does have that is absolutely incredible, and you can see it in the bottom left corner there as well, is real-time terrain following. The sensor itself is speaking with the drone, and it uses that ground to LiDAR sensor distance to maintain that distance if that's activated. So it actually will follow the terrain as it's going, and it doesn't need a DTM model to do that. So moving right along, we're going to jump next into the Wingtra. We do have the Wingtra Gen 2. Just a kind of a fun little video that we shot. This is an incredible fixed wing VTOL drone, vertical takeoff and landing drone. And the video that you're watching here just kind of showcases how incredible that is to take off vertically. Once it's up in the air, it will transition to a straight and level flight, spiral up to its altitude that you have designated for the flight itself, enter the program. When it comes back, it'll spiral back down to about 175 to 150 feet, transition back into vertical and land, just as you saw there in the video. Absolutely incredible system. And now, as of about a month ago, it is also incorporated with a LiDAR system. So not only is it a photogrammetry, long distance photogrammetry drone, but also now has the capability of doing LiDAR. We'll get into that here in just a second. This diagram is just to kind of show you the uses for that Wingtra. When we use a multi-copter drone, typically we're going to get in that kind of 50 to 70, maybe 80 acres ballpark, depending on altitude that we're flying at and the speed that we're flying at. Some of the other fixed wing drones that are out there that are in the comparable range of the Wingtra, they do pretty good. They can do the 420 to about 600 acre range. But where the Wingtra really shines, especially with their new RGB 61 photogrammetry camera, is the ability to cover almost 800 acres in a single 55 minute to an hour flight time. Sorry about that. We'll go back one. The Wingtra does boast roughly a 55-minute flight time with any of its payloads. Again, able to cover those long distances. With the LiDAR system, the things that we're noticing with the LiDAR, yes, the drone itself is traveling at about 35 miles per hour. And so when we're talking LiDAR with a multi-copter versus LiDAR with the Wingtra, with the multi-copter, you're probably in the 10 to 12 mile per hour range, and you're flying at a lower altitude. So you're going to have really dense data from that. With the Wingtra 1, to compensate for that, you just simply increase your overlap. Instead of doing a 40 or 50% overlap, you may require a 60 to 70% overlap to hit the same area a few more times with the LiDAR system traveling at a little bit higher speed. The puck that they're using is the same puck that is on the GOQ 535 sensor. It's a wonderful LiDAR system. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into the weeds with the LiDAR systems. We'll have that in another presentation down the road. I just wanted you to be aware of the systems that are available with the Wingtra. Next, we're going to move on to Inspired Flight. Inspired Flight, based out of California, US-made drone. There are two systems that they're boasting right now. Is the Inspired Flight 1200A, kind of their flagship system. It is a hexacopter heavy lift. And then they also have the brand new IF 800 Tomcat. The 800 Tomcat, wonderful medium lift copter, quadcopter, a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to manage, but we'll get into some of the details of what it's capable of here momentarily. And it's all comes down to what do you need and what are the options that you're trying to, what are the payloads that you're trying to lift. So with the IF 1200A, so the heavy lift copter, these are designed for those big missions that you need a high capacity LiDAR system, a Regal system, or the ability to swap between multiple different systems. We have DNRs and fire departments that are actually mounting what's called the Ignis system, which is a fire ball system that drops little balls that burst into flames once they hit the ground to light backburns to keep the firefighters safe. The IF 1200A, you're going to get between 40 to 45 minutes flight time, depending on payload that is on there. Capable of lifting almost 20 pounds, max speed of 56 miles per hour, and pretty good wind resistance up to 23 knots. I still would caution people, as we start to push that 20-knot threshold, uh, be judicious and cautious in your flights. But a very, very capable drone, very robust, very well built for those heavy lift missions. Moving over to the Inspired Flight 800 Tomcat, new drone that just came out in the last couple of months. Again, about a 40 to 45-minute flight time on it. This is a quadcopter now, designed to lift a little bit less weight. This one will lift. I actually have the wrong data up here for this one. This copter will lift, I believe it was 8 pounds, 9 pounds. So a little bit less, travels at about 42 miles per hour, capable of withstanding about 20 knots worth of wind resistance. Again, just a great medium lift copter, ability to strap multiple different payloads on there, from camera systems to LiDAR systems. Just a really versatile system. Inspired Flight has done a wonderful job with coming out with these. Again, both of the drones are NDAA compliant, and the IF 1200A does come with a blue list capability as well. And we will get into the NDAA and blue list in another lunch and learn down the road. Just don't want to go too far into the weeds with that today. Our final drone that we're going to talk about is the Maptek. This is a brand new drone out of South Korea that we at the LiDAR Pros are happy to be importing into the United States. We've been working with them exclusively to make some fine tuning and some very unique changes to it to be able to work in the U.S. market and to be a wonderful, wonderful drone, medium lift drone for pretty much any project that you have. Very, very easy to fly, multi-use quadcopter, capable of multiple payload systems. It is NDAA compliant. This drone does come to us out of South Korea, one of our NATO partners. It does meet all the NDAA compliant regulations. Again, made in South Korea. The wonderful thing about this one is with just an FPV or a small camera system on it, you're going to get about an hour of flight time, maybe even an hour and 15 minutes out of it. Once we start to put some other payload systems, you're still going to get 40 to 45 minutes of flight time, even with a GOQ 535 LiDAR system on there. Not a big deal to get 40 minutes out of it. Very, very versatile, very, very wonderful drone to use. The best part about it, it is extremely customizable and extremely easy to upgrade and repair. 12 screws in the top of it, pop off. Everything is plug and play. There's no soldering required. So if there are changes or additions that need to be done, very, very easy to just pop an old data card out, pop a new card in, and we can either handle that in-house or we can actually send parts out and walk you through how to do the repairs yourself. So not dealing with super complex systems like some of the other drones. Very, very capable and easy to do. And then again, it does have that dual GNS or dual RTK system that we mentioned with the Easy One. Again, that's going to help against electrical magnetic interference and give you a lot higher accuracy with this drone. With that said, that's the 4 systems that we wanted to talk about today. I know we're trying to keep these a lot shorter than we have in the past, just to kind of give you a overview of some of the things that we have to offer here at the LiDAR Pros. Douglas, I didn't get a chance to look at the chat yet, see if we have any questions.
We've only had one question so far, and I'm going to answer that right now. You put up the Wingtra, or excuse me, you put up the Maptek image. I happen to have a different version of that, so I'm going to go ahead and share that, share my screen real quickly for folks here. You should be seeing that there. So it's ironically, or coincidentally the same image that you used, but this was a mission that we flew with the Maptek over the city county building up there in Salt Lake City. And up here in this upper right-hand corner, you can see the output of the GeoQ 535, which is this LiDAR system you see over here to the side. This is the quality of data output that we're getting off of this platform with this particular drone, and in this particular scene, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This was processed through LP360, which, as you mentioned, Ben, comes with all of the Microdrone and GeoQ products. So that hopefully that answers any questions about the quality of data output that we have. Question here coming in from Facebook: What is NDAA compliant? Do you want to take that one, or would you like me to? Go ahead.
You bet. NDAA compliance, National Defense Authorization Act. So because of certain companies that are out there that are broadcasting data to back to China, back to Russia, the government came out with a couple different lists, and it's a really in-depth field, and it's a really long conversation we could get into. But NDAA basically means that there are no components of the drone that are speaking directly back to China or back to non-NATO countries. NDAA compliance means that it's primarily built out of U.S. or NATO compliant parts. That's simply what it boils down to in a nutshell. Again, it's another topic for a lengthy discussion down the road, and we will have one of our Lunch and Learn episodes where we will talk about Blue List versus NDAA and what they both mean.
I think that was a pretty solid answer there. That ends the questions that we had come in over the Facebook and the LinkedIn links. If anyone here has a question you wanted to pose to Ben before we exit for the day, we still have about 3 minutes remaining here, Ben. I don't know if that means we're ending early, but or not. But one thing while you're thinking about any questions you have, folks that are watching the webinar, both on Facebook and here, if you've got ideas for a webinar that you'd like to see, please let us know what those webinars, what you'd like to see are. For example, we were at a survey conference last week, and the people that were at the survey conference in our survey classes overwhelmingly requested a photography for survey and for photography for precision measurement webinar. So we're going to be putting one of those forth very quickly here. We're still ramping up the remainder of our schedule through the summer, but we hope to have all of our Lunch and Learns here posted very quickly so that you'll be able to see which ones are coming up next. Next week, we're going to be going through mission profiles with LiDAR and photogrammetry simultaneously. Some of the systems that are out there are capable of performing photogrammetry as well as LiDAR data capture simultaneously and registering that data together. So that one is being presented by myself and Brady Reich next Thursday at noon. We'll get the link out to you in your emails here. Ben's put in the chat box there. If you've got a program you'd like to see in Lunch and Learn, please email us at myhelp@thelidarpros.com. And Ben, that brings us pretty close to end of time, and I'm not seeing any questions further here. Is there anything you want to share with folks before we wrap up for the afternoon?
You bet. Guys, I'm happy to be a part of the LiDAR Pros. I'm happy to be able to use my experiences in life and my expertise to be able to help out with any questions that anybody has. Even if you think it's not a great question or it's something that other people might laugh at you for, reach out to us, give us a call. We're happy to talk to you, happy to give you a hand.
All right. Well, Ben, I think that brings us to the end of today's Lunch and Learn, and we're grateful for those of you that stopped by and spent the last 20 minutes or so with us. We'll look forward to seeing you at our next Lunch and Learn next Thursday at noon. Until then, thanks for your support of the LiDAR folks, LiDAR Pros folks, and we hope that you can stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye-bye.